I'm Miranda G, and this is my final environmental education video. Today I'm going to be focusing on my teaching pedagogy and how that relates to environmental education. So before this class began, I wasn't really sure where I stood with what my teaching pedagogy was. Over the last 3 years, I have found that my teaching pedagogy is completely changing, and every year we're asked, before we start our practicum, to let our mentor teacher know what our teaching pedagogy is, and every year I've come up with a completely different answer. Before taking this class, I was curious to know about how we could incorporate environmental education into our classroom as a future educator. And I think that my current teaching pedagogy is that every child's going to learn in a completely different way and at a completely different rate, and our teaching style as an educator should be fluid to meet the needs of our students. And nowadays parents are always going for these different alternative education programs. They could be special ed, technology related, outdoors related, and as an educator I'm trying to create a classroom dynamic that incorporates all of these different aspects into one, and how we can bring nature back into our classroom. How can we get the kids back outside?
In my soul, not afraid.
So when it comes to environmental education, three main topics for me come to mind. When I'm thinking about environmental education, I'm thinking about social justice, sustainability, and cross-curricular. So for my next practicum, I'm not too sure how, as an educator, I plan on incorporating environmental education into my class. So thinking about it at a more smaller scale, I'm thinking about my next practicum. So how can I incorporate environmental ed into that one? I'm going to be doing a lot of project-based learning. So I'm going to try and get my kids outside and exploring their environments, but also incorporating that social justice aspect into the classroom. For my next practicum class, I'll be teaching grade 5, and one of the topics that I've been given is natural resources, so that would include renewable and non-renewable resources. And so far I've come up with some really cool activities that are meant to actually be conducted outside of the classroom. So one we'll be doing as a group is cleaning up an oil spill. So the kids will be using different materials that they're going to find outside, and how those materials can be used to actually clean up a real live oil spill. Also, we'll be doing different mining activities just to get kids aware of where our resources are coming from. So then that also brings back in the sustainability aspect of what it means to be sustainable and how we can get our kids to be sustainable.
In my body choke. Come along, man, to the side. Come along, man, ain't no place to hide. Stop all of this thinking. Step out to the light.
So reflecting back on the last 3 months of our environmental education class and what I've learned and what I've taken from this class, and I've been thinking about that the last few weeks of what I actually have learned in this class, and I think the biggest thing for me is it's made me reflect back on myself as a teacher and what exactly I want my teaching style to look like, which is, I find, really important, especially at the end of our program. And we're going to be starting to teach now, and this is the opportunity to actually put what we've learned into practice. And as an educator, I want to make sure that I'm giving my students the best education possible. I think one of the most valuable things that I've learned in this class is how to get our kids back outside, whether that be just for a simple demonstration or actually getting our kids outside for a full day of learning and what that would look like. So I thought that the most important project for me this past semester was actually getting the opportunity to create our own field school and getting out and using the activities and seeing how well they worked. Field experiences, I think, are a really great opportunity for kids because it gives them that opportunity to get back outside with nature, to learn hands-on and just in that awesome, enriching environment.